Hi everyone, it's me, Lori Lytle, Inner Goddess Tarot. So in this week's video, I'd like to talk a little bit about how to see the bigger story in the cards, how to weave a story together from your tarot spreads, so that you get the holistic picture. You see the common themes, you see how the cards complement and contrast each other. And this is a huge topic, and essentially it's what tarot reading is, right? It's the art of weaving together a story that has meaning for you or for the person that you're reading for. So I don't take this lightly here, and I'm going to keep it brief now, so keep that in mind for further videos and discussion about this because it's a huge topic. But I just want to give you a little taste of it today. And this was on my mind because I do a Tarot Tuesday forecast each week, right? So it's in my newsletter and on my Facebook page. I pull 3 cards and people choose 1, 2, or 3 without knowing which card they're picking, of course, like without knowing what it is. And then the card is revealed and it lets you know what the week ahead may be like for you, how to make the most of the energy, how to navigate any challenges, to see opportunities. So it's helpful, right, of how to make the most of the week ahead. So the premise of this is that each person is picking one card, right, and that of the 3, and that's their card. But honestly, when I pull those cards, I also look at them on a different level of how all 3 play together, right? How they all interact together. And that gives me a sense of what the week may be like as a whole, right? So it gives a bigger picture of the themes or the story of the week ahead. So essentially with those 3 cards, I'm looking at them on 2 levels. So the individual card for you, and then all 3 together to give us a bigger picture of the bigger story of what's really going on in the week ahead. So I'm going to do an example one for you just to get you started to kind of think about how you might weave a story together when you're reading the cards for yourself or for someone else. And as an aside too, like talking about spreads and spread positions and things, when I use a tarot spread, I don't always. Sometimes I just do kind of free form or design my own on the fly. But if you're using a tarot spread, or if I'm using a tarot spread that has distinct positions, you know, each card means this in the spread, then I follow that, right? That gives really valuable information to you. But then I sort of step back and look at what the bigger picture is, right? So put those spread positions sort of in the back of my mind and just look for the bigger picture of how they all weave together. So that's kind of what I'm doing now with this example. So I'm going to pull 3 cards here and have a look at how they come together as a story. So there's no spread positions here, just 3 cards. And let's look at the week ahead. And whatever day of the week it is for you, whenever you're watching this, let's take a look at what the energy might be like for the week ahead. And let's see how we can weave those cards together. Okay. So let me show you. So I'm going to show you individually, and then we'll look at them together. The first card I pulled is the 5 of Cups. That's kind of a challenging one, right? Sadness there, disappointment, grief, you know, fixating on things that didn't work out the way you hoped, not seeing something good that's waiting for you, needing to feel grief and heal before you can move forward. Next card, different energy, 4 of Wands. A reason to celebrate. Joyful time with family, friends, community. Feels really good, right? Especially right now. So this, I'm going to keep it concise here. So a reason to celebrate, a joyful occasion. And the third card I pulled is the Page of Wands. So an adventure ahead, right? Starting something new that feels really exciting. There's creativity here, passion, but it looks always to me like this person is ready to go on an adventure and they're feeling excited about something, right? Let's get going. So if we're doing this like I do with Tarot Tuesday, you would look at which card is your personal card, right? Based on those descriptions I just did. But then let's try to bring it together. What's the bigger story that we see here? So what I would do is have a look at these. Let me show you these 3 cards. What do we see that is in common? What do we see that's different? You know, what strikes me immediately is the positions of these 2. You know, they're facing in different directions. They're like 2 sides of a coin, right? Here we see sadness and disappointment and grief and needing to heal from it, right? Here we see somebody that's having a new start, a fresh start, feeling excited and alive again. So it's almost like this person has been able to take off that black cloak and put it aside, put on this nice bright travel cloak instead, and go off on an adventure, right? So, I mean, I feel like there's a shift in the story here, right? So maybe starting out feeling what we see here, but throughout the course of the week being able to shift into a new start, some feeling much better and ready to feel happy and alive again. So those 2 really strike me as being like 2 sides of the mirror, 2 sides of the coin. Then we also have a theme here of, feels like to me, just as I mentioned before, like sadness versus anticipation and excitement, right? So which one are you going to choose? Which path are you going to choose? Because they're both there for you. Then in the center, of course, we have celebration with community, with a group, with friends, with family, whereas this person here is alone and isolated themselves or feeling alone, right? But then here we have, no, there's people that love and support you and they want to give you something, a reason to feel happy and celebrate, right? Resulting in this. So you may see that story there, of starting out feeling, pretty down and hurt and upset, and maybe having trouble pulling yourself out of that, right? Like knowing it's not doing you any good, but having trouble getting out of it. What is going to help you perhaps is family, friends, finding a reason to celebrate. And if there isn't an immediate reason for celebration, then make one up. Have a reason to celebrate. And then that's going to make you feel like you're ready to start fresh and new and go on an adventure. Maybe feel more like yourself again rather than here, right? So I see a tale of sadness and also joy, of feeling alone, but not really being alone, right? Having people around you that want to love and support you, and going from a place of withdrawal and sadness to a place of excitement and ready to get back out into the world and do something fun. So some pretty interesting and very different cards there, right? But you can see a story emerging there. So I would recommend to you, if you just want to do that for yourself at the beginning of the week, pull 3 cards without any spread positions at all, and just be open to what the story or the message is there for you. How can you bring that together in a way that makes sense, right? So as I say, I look at things like the positions of the cards, the directions that the people are, I swapped them out there. The direction that the figures on the cards are facing. Are they facing each other? Are they facing away from each other? The colors that you see in the cards, are they similar? Are they very different? They bring out different emotions for you. Have a look at the suits, Here we have 2 wands, so bringing in that feeling of vitality and excitement and reconnecting with yourself. With the cups, we have lots of emotion spilling all over the place there, right? So you can see, like, these cards, there's no practical pentacles here. There's no cerebral swords here. It's pretty visceral, right? It's the heart and the spirit this week that are coming to the forefront. So you want to look at what suits are coming up. If court cards are coming up, how do they relate to each other in the story? What's not there, right? Is there a suit that's not there, or there's no majors there, to see how that might impact the overall tale that you're seeing there. All right. So I'm going to cut myself off there, but I encourage you to give this a try, right? So put aside the spread positions for now, pull 3 cards or however many you're comfortable with, 2 cards, 5 cards, whatever, and see if you can relate them together into a story that makes sense and gives you some insight into how to make the most of your week ahead. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next week. Bye.